Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I'm Florence Joshua. Welcome. The conflict between Fulani herdsmen and farming communities in Benue State has claimed over 400 lives in the past 5 months, with the latest attack occurring on June 14, 2025 in Yelwata and Daudu communities, leaving over 200 people dead. Clearview News Desk takes a deeper look into the circumstances surrounding the origin of the crisis.
These recent tragedies in Benue State aren't isolated. They echo a longer historical clash over land and livelihoods. The Fulani herdsmen migration to Benue State dates back to the 13th century, with the group migrating southward from the Sahel region in search of pasture for their cattle. Over time, temporal migrations turned into permanent settlements in Benue due to the region's rich grazing land and high demand for beef. Despite government and local authorities' effort at enacting anti-open grazing laws and initiating ranching programs, enforcement remains weak while the attacks persist. The June 14 attack, which claimed the lives of 200 people, were carried out by men who were described by eyewitnesses as heavily armed assailants wearing military gears. The attackers stormed Yelwata's market, opening fire on unarmed civilians, and before proceeding to Daudu, where they continued to slaughter residents in their numbers. Homes were burned down, food barns destroyed, and entire families wiped out.
Silence as the grave. Silence as the grave. Silence as the grave.
I am protesting because right now we are standing on the dead bodies of our mothers, our fathers, our brothers and sisters. We have become IDPs in our own very country. These killings have persisted for years. A lot of talks have gone on. Only last year, 500,182 people were displaced. We have 21 IDP cars in Benue. These killings won't stop. Up until this moment, nothing is being done. Why?
As you can see, the youths are very angry. The people of Benue State, both old, aged, crippled, disabled, everybody is angry.
We're only crying out. It's a peaceful protest.
Commissioner does not say anybody. And we want the commissioner to tell people to stop killing us first before we have anything to say.
The Benue State government has condemned the attacks and urged residents to remain vigilant. Governor Hyacinth Alea also called for calm. However, citizens are demanding for more proactive measures, including deployment of special forces and full enforcement of the anti-open grazing laws, as well as provision for relief for displaced families.
We lost quite a number of lives. When I say the official figures we have include those who are right on the ground, the DSIs, the military, and the police. Then we also try to do some head counts. So once we get from those angles, we target official report. And as we speak, the official reporting we have all received, and we compare notes. We had some meeting all through the night yesterday, and then this morning with a physical meeting as well. And the official figures, all security heads, was 59 with the head counts, with the enlistment of the affected families. We would ensure that we look deeper and closer into your findings. Now that the report is in, we'll move very quickly to set up a 5-man panel to produce a white paper.
The crisis has led to a massive displacement of people, with many residents forced into IDP camps. The socio-economic effect has left a devastating impact on the people, with farms abandoned and markets deserted. Food security is now a major concern as the state risks famine if the violence continues.
What you see happening in your water yesterday is because we have taken over APA, because we are taking over Way West, because we are already pushing in Agatu. So when they were escaping, They just want to do something that they will seem that they are in control, but they are not in control.
Experts and community leaders are calling for a more effective approach to address the crisis, including dialogue and mediation, a ranching system, livestock database, and localized security measures. The government must rise up to its responsibility of protecting lives and properties of citizens and ensure justice for victims of the attack.
Meanwhile, popular Nigerian singer and activist Folarin Falana, aka Falz, has slammed President Bola Tinubu over his inability to tackle the escalating insecurity in the country. This is Nigeria Corner, who was reacting to the president's statement on X regarding the recent massacre in Benue State, stated that Tinubu has consistently shown that he is incapable of performing his primary responsibility of securing lives and properties. He emphasized that the routine statement by the president doesn't address the issue of insecurity. In another post, Falz lamented that the killings in Benue State is not getting enough attention despite the magnitude of lives lost. In another development, a summit organized by the All Progressive Congress (APC) on Sunday for party stakeholders from Nigeria's northeast geopolitical zone in Gombe State ended in chaos, as Vice President Kashim Shettima's name was omitted, while President Tinubu was being named as the sole candidate of the APC. Clever News correspondent digs deep into the APC inner circle crisis.
Speaking during a joint sitting of the National Assembly on Thursday to commemorate this year's Democracy Day, President Tinubu had categorically stated that it was a delight for him to witness opposition parties in disarray, a statement which attracted backlash from different quarters, with some citizens describing the president's statement as insensitive and selfish. The statement further gives credence to speculations that the President Bola administration is drifting into a one-party system. Opposition parties have consistently accused the All Progressive Congress (APC) of being the mastermind behind the crisis in their fold, an allegation the ruling party has always dismissed as false.
I will not say try your best to put your house in order. I will not help you to do so either. It is indeed a pleasure to witness you in such a disarray.
With the current crisis in the APC, where the Vice President Kashim Shettima's name was omitted, while President Tinubu was being named as the sole candidate of the APC, Nigerians are witnessing a repeat of May 22, 2025 omission, where 22 APC governors unanimously endorsed President Tinubu as sole candidate of the APC for 2027 elections. However, the second omission, which apparently didn't seem as an omission, triggered protests from different members and supporters, signaling an impending danger for the party.
I thank you and God bless. Thank you and God bless.
The All Progressives Congress, which seemed intact outwardly, might actually be in disarray internally, even as a key figure in the party, Senator Ali Ndume, distanced himself from endorsing President Tinubu and further advising the president to tread with care, adding that the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, had the endorsement of 22 governors, yet lost his 2015 re-election.
Jonathan had 22 governors then, endorsing him like we did now. And what happened? Jonathan lost woefully. And even that time, what happened? A lot of money was spent, over 2 billion or whatever, And then even the election was sifted. But we are not learning our lesson. And I pity Mr. President for this kind of a thing. Even though he came out one time that this is not time for campaign, we should not be campaigning. But you have already seen the problem now. You go out there and say you are endorsing Mr. President. And when the rumors came out that, the National Assembly members also and this thing are going to be given automatic ticket, the party came out to say, we are not giving them automatic ticket. So who is going to be the foot soldier?
Recall that President Tinubu's aide, Aliyu Audu, and Vice President Shetima's aide, Hakeem Baba Ahmed, recently resigned, revealing the true in-house reality. Aliyu, in a video, made it known that he would be working against the re-election of President Tinubu, while stating that he would not be an agent of a one-party system.
And I couldn't, in all honesty and all consciousness and with my conscience, be in his government knowing I am plotting against his removal in 2027, because I will. By God, we will remove him. By God, we will remove President Bola Tinubu in 2027. And collectively, Nigerians will install a leader that will be our chosen, not his chosen, not Emi local. It will be our local. 2027 is Bobowa local.
Political analysts are of the opinion that there are lots of surprises awaiting the All Progressives Congress, especially with the recent developments in the party. Abiola Alafe reporting for Clever News.
The Federal High Court in Abuja on Monday rejected an application by the federal government to issue a bench warrant against suspended Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan in an alleged defamation case against her. The government is prosecuting Akpoti-Uduaghan on behalf of Senate President Godswill Akpabio and former Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello. When the matter was called on Monday, the prosecuting counsel D.D. Kausu told the court that the matter was for arraignment but not that the defendant was not in court, adding that he served the charge on the defendant's counsel, which meant that the defendant was well aware of the matter. He prayed the court for a bench warrant to be issued against the defendant for failing to appear in court in spite of being aware of the charge against her. Meanwhile, counsel to Akpoti-Uduaghan, Jacob Usman SAN, in a swift reaction, told the court that he found the application for the prosecution strange and uncourteous. He prayed the court to discountenance the application as it was made in bad taste. The trial judge, Justice Musa Umar, asked the prosecutor if he had served the charge on the defendant, to which he answered in the negative. Justice Umar therefore said that it was impossible to grant the application of the prosecutor and issue a bench warrant for the arrest of the defendant when she had not been served. Justice Musa Umar refused the application for a bench warrant and rather granted the application for substituted service through her counsel, which the prosecutor made in what seemed to be an afterthought. In a similar development, a New York hospital healthcare worker at Wale Kodabo has been sentenced to 1 year in prison for sexually assaulting a patient by kissing her against her will. Prosecuting counsel Henry Fernandez said Kodabo, 47, carried out the assault while he was assigned to bathe the female patient who was in pain, adding that although the bathing itself was not part of the offense, the inappropriate behavior occurred shortly after. Meanwhile, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has summoned the management of Airpiece Limited following multiple complaints from passengers regarding non-refunded ticket fares, even in cases where the airline cancels scheduled flights. In a formal notice dated June 3, 2025, the Commission ordered Airpiece to appear at its Abuja headquarters on Monday, June 23, 2025, to address growing public outcry and allegations of consumer rights violations. The Director of Corporate Affairs gave the directive in a statement issued on Monday in Abuja. He said the airline's actions contravene Section 130, subsection 1A and subsection B, and 130, subsection 2, subsection B of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act, 2018, which guaranteed consumers the right to prompt refunds when bookings or reservations are not honored due to a service provider's failure. He explained that the summons was issued pursuant to Section 32 and 33 of the Act, requiring Airpiece to provide specific documentary evidence. These include a complaint log of refund-related issues over the past 12 months, records of all processed refunds to date, a list of all cancelled flights on all routes within the same period, and measures taken to alleviate hardship caused to affected passengers. And that's the news, but you can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Dex, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter at Clearview Online. Many thanks for watching. I am Florence Joshua. Bye for now.